Good morning. Happy Easter. It's Easter Sunday, April the 20th. I had no intention of recording a video today because it's quite windy out here. And so I intentionally left my phone stick and microphones at home. And yet I'm walking around. I keep my phone with me because I use the app tracker to get steps and see how much time I'm actually doing a good workout. And I just had so much on my mind about happiness. As I mentioned before, and I wrote an article in my magazine about happiness and how to find happiness, and that I'm running a workshop, 30 Days to Happiness. And I've been reflecting on the title and the whole premise of it because I understand that there's different kinds of depression, and 30 Days to Happiness might sound insensitive and unreal to people who are clinically depressed. And so I've hesitated about that, but I'm going to go ahead with it because there are different kinds of depression. And there's a goose. And I don't know like the terms because I'm not a professional. I only teach about things that I have experienced myself. And at this moment, in the last few days, I've been going through something. And I recognize it because I've gone through it before. And I'm not going to call it depression because I don't know if that's what it is. But you just feel like, blah. You don't. Maybe it's melancholy. Maybe it's just unmotivated. I don't know. It could be the cycles of life. I think we're going into a new moon, so perhaps my energy is low because of that. And so while I was walking, I was thinking about the things because I know in the 30 days, and the reason I wrote this course was based on my experience of how to get out of this low, this cycle, this phase, this season, whatever you want to call it, a way to get out of it. Because I remember clients asking me, like, if I feel myself going in there or if I find myself in there, how do I get out? And so I gave them some tips, and I'm using those tips in the 30 days of happiness. And I use those tips myself every time I get into this place. This course and these tips aren't going to like heal everything, and that I'm not saying that you'll never go into these dark places again, because I really feel that we need the dark places. And now that I say that, I'm thinking about another chat I did, and it was about walking through the dark valleys and the mountains and how we need to go through those dark times, because I feel like we learn a lot when we're in there. We experience stuff, and it's also a time for us to use the tools that we've learned through our last cycle, our last season, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. Your last journey. I look at it as the mountains. So as you're ascending the mountain and then you're coming down the mountain, you go through the valley, anything you've learned on that journey through the mountain, you hit the mountain peak, and that's like you've gained, if life were a game, you gained your reward and you're on your way down. So you've gained new insight, new tools, spiritual tools to use on your journey. That's in another video, how I discussed all that. And so I would suggest go visit that. I think it's the first one I did on YouTube. So, the sun. So I'm out walking thinking about this. Okay, reevaluating the last 3 or 4 days. What have I done? Now, I've come into Easter, and I have given myself some grace, and I have eaten some chocolate. I'm wearing a glucose monitor to monitor how the food in so I can see the relationship between the food and exercise and mindfulness and water intake and how it's reacting, how my body's reacting to it. And I've seen the spikes. And I know that by eating that chocolate, it's spiking it through the roof and it's not good for me. And I'm very aware of that now, having had chocolate for the last couple of days. I've also had my traditional turkey dinner for Easter, which is with dressing and a tiny bit of gravy because I'm not a big fan of gravy, but mashed potatoes, carrots, and turnips. These are all vegetables that are, I guess, carbohydrates. I could be wrong here, but I understand that they're not good or they're okay in moderation. So I've had that 2 days in a row, and then I had a turkey sandwich. So I could see my eating habits have changed in the last 3 days. I I'm on hormone replacement therapy for almost 3 weeks, and I guess it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. And I started my period for the first time in 5.5 years, and that I didn't feel well for 2 days leading up to that. I didn't know I was going to get it. Blew me out of the water. Like I just could not believe this. I didn't have pads or anything. So that was a shock and a disappointment and coming to deal with all of that. I'm not going to say disappointment, an inconvenience, major inconvenience. And I'm so grateful that I haven't had a period for 5.5 years. And now, anyways, it's like starting over. Yeah. So all of that, I look back at it and I think, okay, when did I take time to do things I enjoyed? Did I do any of this? Did I have my exercise? I'm wearing the Aura ring and it's been telling me that you needed a rest day. And now it's saying, okay, you've had too much of a rest. You need to do some activity because your activity contributes to your sleep, contributes to your overall resilience, to your readiness to, face life head on, for emotions. So I know the exercise has been a struggle for me the last 2 days. So I'm out today, walking extra long to get those bonus points up so I have more resilience for tomorrow. It's like putting reserves in the bank. And I'm going to switch my diet in that I'm going to add more good, positive food into my diet today so that I don't have to keep feeling this way. So these are little tips and tricks. So some of the things on the 30-day challenge is about, or 30 days to happiness is about being mindful and some tips for that. Exercise, and I call it move your body because for me, if someone says exercise, I just go, but if you say move your body, that means I don't have to go outside and run or walk. I could dance. I could, do different things that I want to do. It doesn't have to be something negative. It can be positive. It's all how you look at things, right? And so I did another video about mindful walking and doing things your own way. So yeah, it's forcing yourself, but also at the same time taking the time out to check in and see what's going on in your body. Maybe you need to rest, maybe you're fighting something and maybe you just need a break from life. The biggest thing I could suggest to myself and maybe to you too is just shut the phone off. Like I was putting on do not disturb the last, yesterday and a little bit the day before, just so that I could not be checking in all the time because I keep getting these alerts and like one just pop up now from CBC News. And, I took time to garden yesterday. I planted some seedlings and it felt really good to be doing that. I took time out this morning to play with the cats. They really needed that. So little things like that. And now I'm going to go in and do some kind of art project and something creative. And I'm probably going to work on my workshop and my website and magazine. And that's not work for me. That's creativity and that's joy. And yeah, so happy Easter, whatever you're doing. I hope you find time to take care of you and to check in and see how things are with you. And yeah, that's it for now. So I hope you can hear this. I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like, but I'm going to post it anyway. So be well, my friend.